Hello everyone, and welcome to this summit guide, where we will be discussing the Crown Jewels Summit. And in this summit, you'll be receiving the sparkly, cool red and blue and green smoke as a platinum reward, along with some money and some XP. All right, let's get into it. So first off, you're going to be using the brand new uh, Aston Martin Vantage from 2024. It's pretty cool. I appreciate that they're adding a new vehicle and not just sticking it behind a uh, Summit Platinum reward. And it's actually a new vehicle and it wasn't in like year two pass or anything like that. So it's a completely new vehicle that I guess they just decided to throw into the game. But the important thing here is how to drive this thing. I would say since you don't have any tuning, you need to be extremely careful because this summit features clean driving. And what clean driving does is basically if you don't run into anything, uh, you will get higher points. So what you want to do is you don't want to hit anything as you're coming down this really, really windy section. So you want to keep it in 7th and maybe very low 8th gear. You don't really want to go top speed because at that point it becomes hard to control. So yeah, you're just gonna keep coming down this windy section, swerving through here, trying to get all the gutters as much as you can. This one at 25% is very important to slow down and not do that. We're going to restart and we're going to rewind back to that part. So that's how you don't want to do it. This is how you do want to do it. You want to downshift to 6th gear and brake. That way you can take that turn better. You don't want to gutter here because there is a flag there, and if you hit the flag, your points will go down. So be very careful of that. You keep coming down this hill. I'm gonna just skip past this. You're gonna get on the highway. You're gonna go down this highway. You're gonna come to 61%, and this is where you're going to turn left. After turning left, you can run down through this highway. Here at 68%, make sure you don't make a cut like you would in the grand race, but rather slow down in 6th or 7th gear and make that turn. Same here at 74%, you just want to take the road. That way you don't lose points to the clean driving modifier. So yeah, after that, there's a couple of more turns up here. Here at 81%, make sure you don't hit the brick wall. You can gutter that, just make sure you don't hit the brick wall and you don't hit the outside wall either. And then you just keep driving down this road and the finish line will be right up ahead. That's pretty much it all for this race. Let's move on. Okay, so for your next one, you're going to be using the Bentley Bacarlo. Bacarlo? 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 I think that's how you say it. Uh, and this car is pretty fun to use. It has a very consistent speed. Just make sure when you start, you're revving it too. That way you get the best start. What you're going to do is you're going to go down this highway. After exiting, you're going to go as fast as possible down this highway. Save your NOS at 20%. Slow down. Just make sure you slow down sooner than 20%. But yeah, try not to hit any of the flags, any of the things. Do not gutter because there are objects, some kind of like spotlight things in the ground. If you hit them, your car will lose points. So don't gutter on these, unfortunately, and just stay on the road as much as possible. I believe you're just going to keep going down this highway through the 40%. Then at 50%, you're going to slow down, make that turn nice and smooth. Same thing up here at 58%, 57%. You're going to make this turn. You can gutter it a little bit, but be careful as there are plants in the way that can take away your clean driving. Yeah, just stay on the road as much as possible. Here at 74%, when you make that turn, make sure you're careful as the car can get a little bit drifty. and try to keep it as straight as possible. That way you maintain the consistent speed. And then here at 80%, you're just going to take the grand race route, which is going underneath the bridge rather than on top of the bridge at 85%. Then just race through here, make sure you don't hit any of the walls, and you should get a perfect clean driving bonus. And that's the race. Alright, let's move on. So the next one that you're going to be using is the Jaguar F-Type SVT Coupe. This car is actually really good in the game. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. It's very consistent. I think this car is also loaned, so just know that you can't tune it and you can't put parts into it. You just want to race it as is. So here you do not want to gutter too much through these gutters because there's also things inside them, just like in the Bentley race. You don't want to gutter that often. But yeah, so you want to keep a consistent speed. So here at 15%, 12%, you're going to go over that hill. Make sure you don't do that. Don't hit the wall. Just slow down. It's worth it. And then when you come down through the highway at 17%, make sure you're upping your NOS up at least above 215. That way you're getting the most NOS potential, and you're going the fastest you possibly can. Here at 30%, make sure you slow down to make that turn. Then keep going. Here at 39%, make sure you don't hit that. Keep going. And then here at 52%, you're gonna have this cut right here. So you just keep going, blast your NOS. Be careful here at 61%, there's barriers on both sides. Drive through that. Come down through this alleyway. Get on the highway. Then at 84%, make sure you slow down to make that turn. Then at 90%, make sure you make that turn correctly too. And finally at 95%, make sure you don't hit the poles and blast your NOS to the finish. And that's the race. Let's move on. Next event, you're going to be using the Aston Martin again. And this time it's actually a vehicle that you can tune and add upgrades to. So make sure that you swap your parts onto it and make sure you have tunes on the vehicle. But anyways, let's begin. So you're going to be arriving at 2 and we're already off. Alright, so here at 2%, you want to stay as close as possible to those poles. That way you can get the fastest time. But make sure you don't hit the poles on the edges. Here you can gutter at 9%. Then coming around, you got poles to the left of you. Make sure you don't run into them all the way through 17%. Then make sure that you're continuing to manage your NOS and keep coming down through here. Stay above 130 miles per hour. Just keep going down through here. Then you're going to come to we're going to skip at 40%. When you make this turn, there's a lot of poles to the left, so make sure you get more further out on the turn. Here at 45%, make sure you downshift to 5th. That way you don't slam into a wall like I did. Then at 50%, make sure you don't cut this corner, just take it normally. Finally, when you come to 52%, be careful of the props all to the right, stay more towards the left, but be careful when you exit on 55% that you don't hit those props too. Then as I fast forward, you're just going to keep going around these turns. Here at 65%, when you come up this hill, you can gutter at both sides. Just be careful, don't hit the flag. Then when you come around to 58%, you can gutter this, or 69%, sorry. Come around to those, and then keep guttering. And then finally, you're going to go through this tunnel. And then when you exit the tunnel, make sure you downshift. That way you don't hit the wall like I did. And make sure you don't hit any of the poles that are sticking up. Then after that, just drive carefully down through this windy road. 90%, make sure you throw the needle in between those objects, and then make your last few turns, and you'll be at the finish. Make sure you blast off at the end of the race. Anyway, that's the race. Let's move on. All right, so the Aston Martin Vantage, you're going to be using it for this time. You're going to have access to your own Vantage. It is actually in the Summit bundle this week. And what you want to do immediately is swap your parts into the vehicle like I'm doing here. Then when you're ready, make sure that you pro setting it by adding -25 camber to each one of the wheels and +10 to your suspension. Both of them are down at the bottom, so they're very easy to find. All right, so here you want to be revving at 2, and you want to begin. This thing shifts very quickly, so if you're in manual, make sure you shift up a couple of gears. All right, so here there are shortcuts, but I don't think they're worth taking since you're going to lose progress. So I would just highly suggest driving it as smoothly as possible without hitting any of the objects. That's pretty much the goal of the Summit. It's not really cutting, it's just going as fast as possible, but not sacrificing your clean drive. So for example here, you don't want to do that. You don't do that, like in the first video. But if we get to the second video, this is how you do want to do it. You want to take this corner slowly when you come out of the rainbow tunnel, I'm going to call it. You want to go slowly and brake here so that you can make this turn without hitting anything. So yeah, it's very important to drive around through here without hitting any of the poles, because there's poles everywhere. See, at 50 seconds there's a ton of poles to my left, there's a ton of barriers to my right, so just make sure you're not cutting corners. With this one, you're going to do that 3 times around and you will get platinum. Alright, let's move on. So for the next event, you're going to be using the same car again, but this time on an actual track. So this one, you're going to be using it, revving at 2, and this one is just important to control your speed around the corners. It's not as much important as, say, when you were racing in the last race where you had objects around you and in different places and you had to cross different terrains. This one's easier in some ways. So here you just want to brake hard. You don't want to hit the wall as much as possible. And you want to just do that for all the corners. So here at 28 seconds, you don't want to hit that like I did. You don't want to hit a lot of these places. It's very hard. You have to really control your speed. But if you do it a couple of times, you'll get a good score. But remember, the camber tuning here is very important, since it will allow you to turn the vehicle a lot more and drift corners to help you brake in some of the corners. So yeah, you just want to be very careful here, especially at almost 1 minute. You want to be very careful there. Make sure you downshift to like 3rd or 2nd, that way you can make that turn, because it is a very steep turn. And then for the rest of them, you're just going to make a lap around and you'll come back out at the front. So that's the goal here, just controlling your speed. There's not really necessarily any cuts in this race. I'm just pointing out little things that you need to make sure that you do, because it makes the difference between you getting top, say, 10,000 and top 30,000, which is the difference between platinum and gold. So, alright, let's move on. So, finally, we have our feats. Our feats are mainly really cringe this week. So we have another cringe one where you can jump off some kind of building out in I don't know when, and you have this cool escape one. This one you want to do it the other way. You don't want to do it this way because there's way too much little terrain and stuff. You want to do it the other way. That way you can get more speed, and you can also control the vehicle and you don't have to go through these really thick turns. I don't want to take that. So I would highly suggest going not through the little road. I would go up through the tunnel. So you'll see I'm going to do it again. I would go up through the tunnel. That way you can hit it better. Well, let me get you that run. There you go. You go up through the tunnel and then come back around. That way you get the most power and you're not wasting as much time when it comes to the speed. Because you want to hit it at around 170. That way you can make this jump here down into the sewer and then out of the sewer up to the road. And then you want to cut to the right. That way you can make that turn. Don't take the road like I did. Make sure you cut to the right and through the grass. But yeah, then you just want to ride this highway all the way down through here. And that's pretty much it. So just keep your speed above 130. Drive it down this road and you'll get a really good score. Here at the end, you want to make sure that you jump to the right and not to the left. And just race down through here, blast your NOS. There you go. You should get around 4,000 to 5,000 points. Alright, next feat. Alright, so for your next feat, you're going to have, I believe it's slalom and then a speed trap. This one's just going to be speed trap, I believe. Yeah. I forgot to record the slalom. Oh boy. Basically, the slalom is get your skilled parts and then put it on there and then go through the turns. It's very simple. Just get skilled parts if you have to. I will have a guide here soon on how to get skilled parts. That way you can do these summits really easily. All you need to do is have that on any one of your Aston Martins and you'll be good to go. But here on the speed trap, you just want to go all the way to the top of the road and ride all the way down, making sure that you control your NOS. That way you can hit 142, which I believe is the max speed of this vehicle, and you'll get around 117,000 points, which is all you need. Alright, so what is my general consensus on this summit? I think it's good. I think it was fine. It was just kind of boring as opposed to the other ones. I think the previous summits were better, but this one was a nice change of pace. There was a couple of them that were just kind of annoying, but it is what it is. You can't have a perfect summit every week. But overall, I hope this helps. I'm sorry it was so quick of a review. I'm on vacation currently, and I don't have time to do like super long reviews because I don't have time for the render time. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.